to the conversation. I tried to do a live a couple of like an hour ago, and it cut out. I'm having trouble with my internet, but at any rate, I decided to do it over. So this is a do over. But I want to welcome you to my TriCast. You might be watching this on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook Live. Either way, I welcome your comments. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so the next time I post videos, you'll be the first to know. I'm coming to you after another unarmed Black man has been shot and killed by police. This time is 20-year-old Dante Wright. And you know the story of why he or how he was shot. Of course, the police officer who has since resigned her position from the Brooklyn Center, Minnesota Police Department, that's about an hour away from Minneapolis, is 26-year police veteran Kim Potter. Potter also was a trainee. She had a trainee on the scene when she claimed to accidentally have pulled her Glock instead of her taser. She said she accidentally shot Dante Wright. And also, Potter, the cop, is also the current president of the local police union. So a lot going on here. I won't get into that part, the background, because you know the background. I'm here to talk about why is it that so many unarmed Black people are getting shot or killed, maimed by cops who claim to be so above, to be so afraid that they felt like this was the only way to handle the situation. When we see countless times how white people who are armed, white people who act more egregiously on the scene, white people who are mass shooters, they get taken alive. So I'm going to show you 3 videos. You already know, you've already seen the video of Dante Wright and his shooting and his that led to his death. You already saw that. But what I do want to talk about in that instance is the overreaction. Even if you believe that Kim Potter, who's now resigned from her position as police officer, many say that was to save her pension. Even if you believe that she accidentally, after 26 years on the job, pulled a Glock instead of her taser, there was no reason for her to even go for her taser, because Dante was not doing anything to commit bodily harm to herself or the other officers or anyone on the scene. And from what I know of police work, that is the reason you might escalate to more force or deadly force, is to stop that from happening. So he was trying to run away. I agree, he should not have tried to run, but he did, but he should not have had to die for it. And because he is now dead at the hands of cops, of a police officer, she should be charged with manslaughter, as she is, or something, at least manslaughter. Let me say that as they move forward in this investigation. Also, a lot of you are asking, well, why did the chief of police of Brooklyn Center also quit? He quit because it was a protest. He did not want to charge Kim Potter with anything, but they had to. There was no getting around that, and that's why she's charged, and that's why the police chief, is gone. Kim Potter, again, like I said, tried to save her pension by resigning, but she opened herself up to not being held to police qualified immunity. So now she's being charged, and that's why she was going to be fired. So she went ahead and resigned to save her pension. Now, if you're still grappling within your own mind, why is it that if Dante, or if George Floyd, if all these black people who are getting shot and killed, or killed at the hands of cops, if they would just comply, it wouldn't happen? Well, that's not true. They're dying because they're black people. Okay, they're dying because it seems cops don't have the same regard for life of a black man or a black woman that they have for white people who do more egregious stuff. So I'm about to show you some videos. I'm gonna put the links in the chat. I'm not gonna show you any trauma of black people getting shot or pepper sprayed or tased. We seen it already. We've seen too much of it already. But I am going to show you white people who do egregious stuff and they get away with it. So the next time that you are in a conversation or a debate, or you have friends who don't understand whether they're black, white, Asian, Native American, Latino, whatever, you can show them this. So get ready to share this video with them. The first video I'm going to show you is of a guy in Cleveland, Ohio area who was stopped on the side of the road. It was a traffic stop, and this was how he reacted to the cops being pulling him over, and he was armed. Let me say that he was armed. So I'm going to share my screen. And here's the video.
He said he's not going to shut up the car.
Okay. That's all right. Just keep on. Just get the right bit. Just start. Put your hands on the steering wheel. No. What are you reaching for?
Oh. Hey, get out of the car, man. You got the gun right now.
Whoa.
Right there. My hands are up. No, you got a body cam, sir. Give a body cam, sir.
Put your hands on the road. I will send this dog on you.
I will shoot you. Don't. Hey. Put your hand. You have right to.
Don't you dare.
You have right to.
Don't you dare.
I see that. You have a concealed. Yes.
Don't do it. Do me a favor. Just please step out of the car. That's all we're asking you to do. Yes.
Conceal your weapons, please.
No.
This is how we act civilly. Yes, we do.
Don't. Just please. Please.
Do it.
Then out.
Hey, that's double blue, sir. Are you sure you got double blue?
Just relax.
There's rights for this. You know the rights for this.
Figure this out.
We can talk about this on this right now. We can't talk about it if you're not listening to us.
You're subscribed, right?
All I'm asking you to do.
You just put your hand on a gun.
Sir.
Whoa, no, you pulled the gun on me unconstitutionally.
Please.
And I response.
We don't want to do this, man.
Just get out of the car. I'm just asking. We'll get this figured out. Just come out and get your hands
Release me now.
You can't do that.
Release me. I haven't been
Okay. Just get out of the car. Come back here. We'll talk about it. We'll get this figured out. Don't do it. Please. Just come on. Just get out of the car. Just step out. No, step out. Just step out of the car. Just don't do it.
You know what's gonna happen, right?
Just stop.
You get out of the car. That's the order. You're gonna go. What a gun. Take me to jail. Go ahead.
I can't.
You're pointing a gun at me, sir. Right now, my life's in threat. Okay. Well, we have a body cam on this, sir. I'm not gonna bother anybody.
Don't do this. Don't do it. Don't.
So you see this dude, he talked back to them. He told them what he wasn't going to do. And he drove off on their asses and left them standing like looking stupid on the side of the road. And that was in Ohio in the dark. OK, he had a weapon. They saw it. And he's still alive. And he drove off. Now, later, they did go to his house and peaceably arrested him for whatever. At any rate, he didn't end up. That situation shows they cajoled him. They wanted to counsel him. They pleaded with him. Come on, please get out the car. We're gonna stick the dog on you. Please, 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 please. The dog was probably confused because the dog was ready to do something and they just stood. Now I'm gonna put that link in here so you can see it and show that the next time somebody says to you, well, I don't understand why you think that white people are treated differently on the side of the road. That is an example of that. So I'm going to put that in. And while I'm doing that, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. So the next time that I post videos, you will be the first to know. So just posting this. And he was armed. I just want to add that. All righty. So the next video we're going to see is of another white dude. Then this guy, just to preface it, is in New York, the state of New York. And apparently it was during the COVID shutdown when a lot of cities told store owners to close. And he was upset. He defied the local ordinances to shut down, or he reopened. He had people coming in. When the cops came to arrest him, he jumped in his vehicle and used his vehicle as a deadly weapon. At least if that would have been a black person, they would have been charged with using their vehicle as a deadly weapon if they would have made it out alive. But this guy, they said, they just, he made it to the police station alive after running over the cops. The video shows that's what happened. So I'm going to share my screen again, and you are going to see this video.
Weekend, deputies tried to arrest Danny Presti after he allowed people to gather at an public house when it was supposed to be shut down. When they followed him up the block to his car, they say he ran and drove off, hitting a deputy who rolled onto his hood.
And despite this surveillance video that shows the incident, Presti has a different version of what happened. I think when the investigation is complete, we find out that I did nothing wrong. Wait!
All right. So as you heard him say, after the investigation, well, dude, our eyes did the investigation and we see that you ran over the cop in your vehicle. And I got that from Trevor Noah's video selection because he put his comical spin on it, talking about how good lucky it is to be white in America. But it's just an egregious way to say that's BS. So that I'm going to give you that link because I want you to be able to use these when you have conversations with people who say that white people are not treated any better when they get stopped by the cops, or they don't have anything to be afraid of because they comply, then this clearly is showing non-compliance. And I have one more video to show you. Now, this video I just showed you was in New York. The one before that was in Ohio. And this last video is going to be of a man in Minnesota. It happened a few days after the shooting death of Dante Wright. All righty, so I'm going to preface this last one. It happened at a store in a city about an hour from Minneapolis. So it's around the Brooklyn Park. I keep wanting to say park. It's around the area where Dante Wright was shot and killed. It's about an hour outside of Minneapolis, and apparently this guy, white guy, goes into the store that has a must wear mask policy. He didn't have a mask. They told him, "Sir, you need to put a mask on." He attacks the employee to the point where they have to call police. When police show up, this guy is still sitting in the parking lot. They go to the car, to his truck, the guy's truck, and try to get him to get out and talk about it because he is accused of an assault on an employee for just doing their job. He drives off. Then when they finally get him to stop, there are about it took 3 or 4 police cruisers, 4 or 5 cops. You can see one standing there with a long shotgun or something, and the other one tries to get him out of physically get the guy out of the vehicle. So now I'm going to show you a picture of the guy, old white dude. Then I'm going to show you the video that a bystander took of what happened. Okay, here we go. This is the old white dude, okay? And this is what the old white dude did when the police tried to stop him.
Oh. Oh my God. Oh, hell no. The cop is on there. Oh.
Okay, we're going to see it again.
Oh my God. Oh, hell no. The cop is on there. Oh.
Okay. So now you saw the police officer outside of the truck on the passenger side with the long gun. He didn't try to shoot the guy. He's making sure the barrel is down. He's making sure he doesn't accidentally shoot anybody when it's a white guy that's armed. And I say armed because it later came out that the driver, the old white dude, had a hammer in the vehicle with him and was hitting the police officer who was on the runner board. I guess that's what you call when you have a truck and you step up on that little board to get into the vehicle because it's so high off the ground. He had a hammer and was hitting the police officer with the hammer while he's driving away, and the cop is hanging on for dear life. Now, if there's any reason to shoot somebody, that would have been it. You're trying to kill me right now. At least something is going to lead to my death by you driving off and clearly you see me hanging on the side of your car. But no, they took him on to jail and he got the post bond and some other stuff, just like he had just cursed somebody out and kept walking. basically. So these are 3 examples of what happens when white people get stopped by the cops. And I'm going to put in this last link for you. So the next time you are in a position where somebody tells you, white people don't get hurt by the cops because they comply, you can say, you can share this video. So I'm just making a note so you know this previous video shows a man who drove off while cops hung on for dear life. And all these white people that I just showed you, they were arrested with no shots fired. They were either, they used their vehicle as a weapon, or they had a weapon, and they lived to tell about it, and probably got a ride through the drive-through at the local fast food restaurant on the way to lock up. So back to former cop Kim Potter, the 26-year veteran who is now charged with manslaughter of 20-year-old Dante Wright. She was on the force longer than this young man lived, okay? So she knew better, and that's why she's charged. And I just want to say, as president of the local police union, or having been on the force that long, she knows a strategy that a lot of and she probably has represented cops in a position where their behavior has been questioned. And one of the strategies that they use that we as regular citizens need to do as well is, you ever notice how when these cops are in these questionable shootings or questionable behavior on duty, it's days, 3 or 4 days pass before they give a statement. So the country is hanging on like, well, what happened? What happened? Well, why haven't they been arrested? Well, why haven't they been charged? And the reports are, well, they haven't made a statement yet. Well, that's not incidental or coincidental that they don't make statements right away. It's planned. That's strategy, because I know I've learned that the police union or other legal representation tells these cops, don't make an official statement until you, 1, see the cop cam recording, and 2, that you coordinate your statements with other police in the area and other evidence in the area. So the cops already they're not going to say anything until they look at what everything else, the other things that are going on in the area, and so they can make sure they have their story straight. 1. 2, because when you are hype, or when something happens and you got adrenaline flowing, you really don't remember, or you might not remember as well as if you've had a couple of days of sleep on it. And so they give the cops the benefit of the doubt. Yet when you or I, a non-cop citizen, is in a situation and cops show up, something that where cops show up, they request that you right away make a statement. I need you to make a statement right now. I need you to come down to the police station and make a statement right now. We need to know what happened right now. And here we are, all confused and dazed, and we call ourselves giving a statement because that's just what we're supposed to do. When no, what you really should do is do like the police do in this instance, and don't make a statement right away. Tell them, I don't feel comfortable making a statement right away. Now, of course, they're going to say to you, well, you know what? If you didn't do anything wrong, there's no reason why you wouldn't want to make a statement. That's like par for the course response for if you say you don't want to make a statement, or you don't want to give testimony, or you don't want to say you're a witness. Well, if you didn't do nothing wrong, you shouldn't have a problem with it. Or why won't you talk to us? Why won't you answer our questions? Why do you actually need your attorney if you didn't do nothing wrong? That's because there's tens of thousands of people in prison right now based off of what they said when they didn't have legal consultation beforehand. So you need to make sure that you don't make it worse for yourself by making a statement in a situation where it just happened and you might not remember, because of course they're going to bring that back up later. Well, this is what you said right after. Well, were you lying then or you lying now? Then now you're all caught up with being a liar today or being a liar yesterday. So don't let them put you in that position. And so former cop Kim Potter, she knows this. So she opened herself up to assault, to manslaughter charges. So because she resigned, but she resigned because she was trying to save her pension, so she can come back around later on and pick up another gig somewhere else, and at least have her pension to fall back on. So we need to start paying attention to what these cops do and how they do it. And if it benefits you to act accordingly, then act accordingly. But I've always said that you have for the time got to be an attorney to know what you should put up with from the cops and what you shouldn't put up with from the cops. It's like if you have a car, you halfway have to be a mechanic to know what's wrong with it, and when somebody's lying to you about what's wrong with it. You just cannot let other people dictate to you your rights. You need to know your rights for yourself. And so, having said all that, I just want us to keep yourself from being at the mercy of a cop on the side of the road. Whatever you got going on with your vehicle, make sure it is not such that a cop will stop you. And if you do happen to get stopped, do like Lieutenant Caron Nazario, Virginia, that night on the side of the road. Even if they put their lights on you 5 miles away, if you got to drive 5 miles to get to a lit gas station, then that's what you need to do. Because I am convinced that had he stopped on the side of the road in Virginia when they actually put the lights on him, he would be dead right now. Based off of how they acted when he got under the light at the gas station, and they still pepper sprayed him and still talked to him like they did, yeah, they would have found a reason to erase him. Okay. And I just am glad for him and his family that he did not, that he followed his right mind, and he was cognizant enough, and he knew I need to get to somewhere that's lit. So if anything happens, it'll be under the light of a gas station, and not their story in the night at night. And so we just have to keep pushing. Don't let people bully you into making decisions that are going to be to your detriment. And stop making statements. If anything happens, wait for your attorney. Sometimes that's going to be inconvenient for you, because that means you're going to have to wait at the police station or wait wherever you are, and you might have somewhere to go and somebody might be waiting for you. But just make sure somebody knows where you are. Make that phone call while you're on your way to the gas station. Make that phone call while you're on the way to wherever you're going and they're following you. And when they do, just say, like he said, like Lieutenant Nazario said, I need you to call your commanding officer because I am afraid to get out of the car. And just let them know. So when it all comes out, it will show that you did everything to de-escalate the situation, and it was on them. So that's it for now. Don't have any more. But if you want to know more about the things that I care about, you can go to the written version of my journal. It's at eurweb.com. Thanks and have a super day.